But enough about Ernesto.
Yeah, what do we
Debby
got?
did it. What did you think about that?
Honestly, like the honest truth is I didn't think it was gonna be. I kind of thought the size would be around there, but it just was a lot like throatier and heavy than I expected. And I think it's just that zone we were at is just like set up
wow.
perfectly for just slabby.
Why was it so throaty? Dude, but what's weird is like where Rob and those guys were too, it was throaty. It was just smaller. But it was like it was
It was
throaty.
good.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
It's
It
just
had something
like,
to do with the tides or the I
maybe
don't
it was
know.
the Kilimajiggers.
Could have been.
But
It's so crazy because I just looking back at some of those frame grabs, it was just I just didn't think like that was what I didn't expect. I expected to be at least head high,
yeah, it
overhead maybe on some of the better sets, but
so that in my eyes, like there's a certain line that it has to cross, like, and it did, because we woke up and it was 6 feet at 8, and I
Right.
was like, oh, is it gonna be like chest to head high shore break,
yeah,
or is it gonna cross that line and kind of be legit?
right,
And it was right there. It was like right at the point where you're like, heck yeah, there's some good ones out there.
right. No, I agree.
Because sometimes if you wake up and it says 6 feet at 8, you show up and it's smaller and you're like, oh, okay. But
Do you think that maybe some of those spots just like that little bit of a short period as opposed to like a crazy long period?
I think Jersey loves short periods.
Yeah, like it's almost like that long period. It's like too stretched out, and it's like not
Here's my take, and I always say this. I think 9 feet at 9 would be the perfect Jersey swell.
right.
But I also think 15 feet at 9 would be sick.
Right.
Like 15 feet at 12. If the height goes over the period, we're in good shape.
Right.
But if the height is 4 feet at 16, you're beat.
Right.
It's going to be stretched
That's
out.
what I mean. It's going to be a lot of closeouts.
Yeah. So you really want the height to be longer than the period, and that means it's a close storm with high winds. But Debby was almost perfect. Like, Debby was everything about Debby was perfect for us to get waves, except for just the power of the storm.
Sure.
It just wasn't that strong of
Yeah.
a hurricane. But I mean, if that was a Category 4 doing the same thing in the same spot, that probably would have been some of the best waves we've seen all year.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the wind was perfect all day basically.
And I will say, dude, like we rolled up at 7 a.m. Like that was way too early to be on it. And obviously the jet ski makes everything easier.
Right.
So, but like if that was a normal day, we probably would have not surfed till 10 o'clock. If we were paddling.
Really?
Because like, why would you? Dude, when we first got there, it was guttering with a current.
Yeah, and there wasn't really barreling. It was kind of like
it was
tough. But I mean, on August day, 85 degrees outside, 67 degrees in the water. It's as good as it gets, really.
And for me, I was hungry to get out there because like I know it's been a long time, so like I think a lot of people might forget about this, but like, dude, I got injured doing step balls.
Same spot.
Same spot. Like, and I've been in the back of my head wanting to.
Were you thinking about it?
I wasn't thinking about it. I shelved it.
Yeah,
I was just like,
that's probably better.
But I needed to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To get back on the horse and feel like I was back.
Well, yeah, that was the heaviest. I was thinking about that when you guys were out there. I was like, well, this is actually probably the heaviest you've been surfing for sure since you got hurt, right?
By far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because everything else, I mean, I pretty much got doctor's orders till mid-August to not surf anything heavy. We're right on that line. So I was like, I think I'm all right.
Feeling good, yeah.
And he was like, kind of just, if you trust yourself, you can do it. But dude,
did you consult him? You consult him. You're like, Debbie's on its way, Doc.
Yeah, I consulted him before because I knew we were gonna get something.
Yeah.
But he was like, you can ramp it up to your own.
Sure.
Like how you feel. But dude, there's a couple when I had to pin drop, but I was going like this.
I did see the one.
Like I was locking my arm out so I didn't
get ragdolled.
It was like, you don't want this going on.
Yeah.
That's dude, in the gym, I'm not even back to 100%. I haven't done a pull up yet.
How shallow was it out there?
Dude.
Was it pretty shallow? It looked like it, but it was hard
deep.
to. The water wasn't clean enough to see. But
it's actually good for booging.
I was a little jealous, not gonna lie. That was like most of it. I was talking to Johnny Boy, and I was like, he was just like, what was that?
That's an email.
Yeah. And he was just like, we were just like bullshitting when he was getting a new board or getting some water. And I was like, dude, this is most of the time I come out here in February and March. I'm not feeling super. I mean, of course, if I wasn't filming, I'd probably be suiting up and being out there with the boys. But like,
Yeah.
it doesn't feel as bad. But when it's 85 degrees outside and sun's shining and that's freaking.
No,
I was feeling a little jelly.
that was a good session, just as far as just like what's it called, conditions wise. It was
Yeah.
just perfect.
Yeah.
Dude. Like
Didn't seem like the current was ripping
can't
super
really
hard or
beat it.
nothing.
Yeah, when the tide came up, the current slowed down a lot,
Yeah.
and it just got
Yeah.
real clean, real fun.